and there will be one host file, the inventory file, which will contains all the host informations, right, which you want to play around. Okay, so today we'll discuss more about the little advanced on the inventory, how we can group all the host, how we can put variables inside the inventory file, how we can add other variables also. So let's see. As I told in my previous classes and every classes I used to tell you, always follow the documentation of each technology or tools, whatever you are using, follow their official documentations. Okay. So let's just open the documentation. I had given this documentation with you, right? So if you just go with docs.ansible.com, and you will find like Ansible test and user underscore guide and index.html. Here you can see here working with inventory, right? Working with inventory, you just go with around this. You can see here writing task, play, and play.
Your screens are not shared, Ranjit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, I hope you can see it now. Yeah, so you can see here. Just follow this documentation. You'll find lots of informations over here. So today we'll just see about little advanced on the inventory side, how we can work on this inventory. Just click on this link and you'll find it out the inventory here. What can you can see it here, how we can build your inventory. All these informations are available here. So what I had given you in the last class is the default groupings, just simply grouping the servers. Okay, so if you see it here, last class I had told you about the simple grouping, the basic grouping, how we can group the inventory file. This is how we had done it. Okay, so today we'll see how multiple ways we can write this inventory and design it. Okay, so mostly you can see it here, the default groups here. See, all hosts, children, and DB server hosts, all this given. This is another way of writing the inventory. This is also some basic things. Okay, if I go down here a little bit, adding ranges of hosts, so you'll find this they have added some kind of ranges. You'll see in the Unix, right? You'll provide some, when you are searching something, right, pattern or something, will provide some range in between this and this. So what will happen here, this actually is set up servers from 01 to 50 dot example.com. So this is a group of, so around 50 servers has given written in one line here. Okay, you don't have to write multiple servers if the servers is having the same name with a little bit difference into that. Okay, so you can group and you can just make a similar pattern here, right? You can just make a range like this. Okay, you can see it here, web servers like this, and you can make like that. Okay, now another way you can do that here is like this also. Okay, you can see here database also db hyphen a colon f, that means from a to f, all the alphabets, it will be the number of servers will be ranges between a to f. Okay, again another one it is given is adding variables to the inventory. You can see here the inventory, whenever you are executing a server, right, so you want to pass a port. Suppose you are executing some server which is required the port to be there, so you can just mention here the port number and the maximum request for child and this. So I'll just show you one example. You can see this example, this is very mostly we use these examples here. You can just give the host name. Okay, and Ansible connection type, you're going for SSH or what. And if you want to pass the Ansible user also, you can pass during the inventory setup also. Okay, Ansible underscore user. And the most thing actually, mostly we use actually the inventory aliases, and this is most of the company they use this format only. Okay, and Ansible aliases, the aliases is the name of the server which you are going to use. Suppose you are going to use this IP addresses. To remember this IP addresses will be little difficult, right? So better, instead of using this IP addresses, you can just create an alias for that, like jumper. If you just use the jumper host name, then it will call the Ansible host of this IP address. Okay, and you can see the port number it uses 5, right? So I'll show you this little demo. Okay, so let's log into the server first. I already have opened the server, I believe. Okay, so it's running. Okay, so our inventory will be under cd etc. So before that, let me make myself as root sudo su. Okay, so and our inventory file will be under etc ansible. Okay, okay, so let me just open the host file here. Okay, instead of using this web server as this like just a grouping, I'm just going to make it as some variables. Okay, I'm going to make it as variables like we saw in our this diagram, right? You can see it here. Simple things, just give one alias here. Okay, and then just use ansible underscore host. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, just provide one alias here. Mm, like suppose I'll give one app server, sorry, and ansible underscore host equal to, just give the IP address of the server. Okay, so I need to start another server. This one I think, right? Just wait for a few seconds, let it up. Okay, so similarly we can okay, so we don't need this servers. Let me remove these things. These things are not required. Okay, so I'm just working on only one grouping. So app server ansible underscore host, and just I have to provide the IP address here, right? So here I'm just creating the inventory alias. Okay, now let's go there. Okay, check. Yes, IP address. Good. So make sure that this has already connectivity between the server and between the Ansible master and the node, the connectivity should be there, right? So I just added the server here. Let's save it. Okay, to check whether we have connectivity or not, let's start with this SSH, and that server is 1C2 Imagine. Just give the IP address, it should work. Yes. Yeah. So we have connectivity from master to node. Okay, master to node machine. Let's just exit it here. Now, so what is the command to check the servers, right? So what is the command to ping Ansible -m, then
Inga.
ping, and then all, or
Yep.
you can just give server, right? So let's give -m ping all. Okay, so that's, see what happened, app server. So it takes the alias name as app server. Okay, suppose if you want to ping only the app server, you can just give the alias name here, app server, and it will ping the server. See, it just ping so we don't have to specify the IP address over here. Okay, we created an alias for that so that we can use, because it will be easier to remember the alias rather than using the IP addresses. Okay, so now we can see here how we can just use this alias technique to add in our inventory and use it. Okay, so now let's do some that ranges. Okay, so we'll add some suppose DB server with a different range. Let me just go through that. Let me just edit the file again, and here I'll create another group. Okay, that's called DB server, and here suppose my DB starts with DB dot. Okay, and here suppose one range I'll just create. um, okay, and here my DB ranges something like around from A to F or something like that, or 1 to 5. Okay, DB 1 to 5. Okay, so I'll just give us 1. Okay, 0 1 colon 0 5. Okay, this is the range between this. Suppose I have 5 DB servers. Instead of writing 5 DB servers single 111, I can just write it. So if you have 5 DB servers ranging, like, let me just make it simpler then. Okay, this is one DB server, and another one, suppose I have another DB server like db dot 02 dot rksy dot com. Okay, same thing. If you have 03 04 05 5 DB server, instead of writing 5 DB servers, I can just make it in one by using the range parameter. Okay, by using the range wildcards, and by brackets, sorry, square bracket, I can just give the range, and that range can be called. So let me just delete this one, and here I'll just give one range colon 05. Okay, now let's see how it is working. Now what I'm going to do, just execute the same thing, but instead of app server, just give us db server. Okay, so you can guys see very clearly here, right, what it does. First is pinging db01 rksy, db02, db03, db05. So it is taking us 5 servers and pinging it. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5, all 5 servers are taking it and pinging the server. Okay, so this is how, guys, you can just work around with the inventory file. Okay, now also in Ansible list hyphen host, if I give all, it will give us, see, app server, it gives the alias name, and here it gives the DB server. Again, if you want to make it in a different ways, like giving alias for the DB servers also, you can do that. Okay, and here you can see it just gives us 5 servers. Okay, now we are clear on the inventory side, right? You can play around whatever the inventory file. If you want to use it, you can just use like that and work on. Okay, now so what we'll do today, we'll discuss further on the advanced on the writing the playbook. Okay, so the last class we had simply saw how to install httpd server, right? Apache server and nginx server and git on the node machine. Okay, so that is the simple playbook we had written just by using the package manager yum and apt, right? So today we'll see about some multiple different ways how we can use like the like with items like loopings and all. Okay, so before going for the looping and all, let me just explain a few things here. Okay, now what I'm going to do here. So, guys, remember you may get questions on the Jinja templating library. Okay, so Jinja templating, remember, guys, Ansible is using Jinja templating library for variable injection. So, what is variable injection? So, whenever you define a variable or declared a variable or something where, and you are going to use that variables inside your playbook, then you should use the Jinja template to call that variable. So what will happen? It will be injected to the playbooks when the playbook will be executed. So if you see here, it's just a simple program here, simple Ansible playbook written here. What it is given, like the server, like okay. Now what we are going to do? Let's just create using a Ginger template, and we'll see how we can just make looping. Okay, so if I see in our last class what we had done, let me just open that one. cd home. Okay, so playbook demo, right?
So Jinja framework only using for the defining for variable, right? Or any other thing?
It is not defining for the variable. It is used to inject the variables into the playbook. Okay, so Jinja templating, all the Ansibles, whatever you are in, not only this variable injection, there are multiple other works also we can use Jinja templating to do that. I'll show you when in the advanced topics and that's Ansible, right? When we go further, that time I'll show you where you can use further in the templating. The templating should be used in the template engine. So not only in Ansible, in other tools also you will use the Jinja templates. Sometimes you will be using Ansible, sometimes you will be using some other tools where the Jinja framework and Jinja templating people will be using to no, for variable injection, for any other type of work. Okay. Um, so on the last class, what we had done, we had seen about we just installed few softwares. Okay, so let me just modify this, and we'll see how we can just use looping to install the multiple softwares in the servers. Okay, so let me just go quickly and install software. So here you can see, guys, it's a very simple. Here what we had done, we had a requirement to install both Apache as well as Git server in our web servers, right? So what we had done, we had written multiple tasks. The repeated task we had written over here. The repeated task. But I don't want, suppose there are 10 application, 10 servers, sorry, 10 softwares, or 10 something like 10 files need to be copied, or 10 software needs to be installed in the server. So it's not good idea, not good approach to write same syntax multiple times. Okay, same task multiple times. Instead, what you can do, we can just use looping mechanism. Okay, either we can use with items or loops. Okay, so we'll go with all these loops and looping with items. Let's start with that. Let me just,
Ranjit,
yeah, please.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Suppose we have 10 servers, sorry, 10 nodes.
Mm-hmm.
So suppose 5 machines are Linux and 5 are CentOS.
Okay.
So can we write only one playbook or different or 2 playbook we need to write?
Only one playbook is sufficient, but inside the one playbook, you have to write the program that when you execute
Okay.
the playbook, that playbook will understand by checking the machine status, machine information, right? So this is little advanced one. I'll show you in our, or I have a project, I'll show you all this. That's very good actually. So in our companies, right, will be not using only one machine. We'll be not using only Red Hat, or we will not using only Ubuntu. Okay, so there will be sometime you'll be using suppose 15 machines. In 15 machines, there will be CentOS 5, Ubuntu 5, and 5 Windows machine. Okay, for that we can write playbook multiple times for multiple machines. What we can do instead, we can write a simple playbook. In that playbook, we have to write the program which will identify the machine type. So when we execute the playbook, it will get the host info. From where it will get the host information? From where it will get the host? When you execute a playbook, from where it will get?
I think host dot inventory have host dot s.
Yeah, from the inventory it will get it, right? So when you execute the host, it will first check the that particular host configuration. Host configuration is what type of server it is, whether it is a Linux server, whether it is a CentOS server, or Ubuntu server, or Windows server. Then based on that, it will execute the task. Okay, so those type of conditions we are going to write by using the package status. That is little advanced. I have not come across yet. Okay, so that is we have. I'll show you, just wait one. So see, check status of the package. So that is called Ansible facts. Okay, fact gathering. So little advanced. So I'll show you this one. Okay, don't worry. Okay, just a second, 1 minute. I'll just. Okay, sorry guys, there was a disturbance, so I just muted it. Okay, okay, what I was talking about, so that, okay, Jitu, that is how we have to find it. We don't have to write multiple playbooks. Okay, we don't have to write multiple.
Okay.
Playbook can be executed on multiple servers by writing simply gathering the facts and checking the host information, and then executing by giving the conditions. That is little advanced, and we'll see all this. Yes, only one playbook is sufficient. Okay. Now, what we'll see here, okay, I'm just little bit giving just writing the small looping here by using with items, and we'll see how the Jinja templates and Jinja templates can be used. Okay, let's just go that. So here I'm just going to modify this. Okay, instead of writing multiple tags, what I'm going to do, I'm just modifying this. Okay, let's do that. What I'm going to write it here, we have to simply use the with items like this, with items, and then here, okay, let me just write that we are going to use yum package manager, right? So it's not space with underscore items. Okay, so I'm going to suppose what I'm going to install. So my requirement is to install httpd, means Apache, and Git. So I just give httpd here, and just remember this hyphen means we are making a list out of that. Okay, so it is as a list. So give and then Git. Okay, so we made with items here, right? With items, then we have to inject these items into the names of this yum package manager. So how we'll do that? So we have to just give, sorry, given this, if I do double curly braces, right, double curly braces, this is how the Jinja template starts. Okay, and inside you have to write item, yum name item. Okay, then so what it will do, it will just get all the variables, all the items, what is listed under with items, and get it installed. Okay, now so let's see, with items, item state present and update cache, what is that, we have written it here. Now let's just save this program and execute it. So what is the command to execute the playbook? If you remember, can anybody tell me? What is the command to execute the?
I think Ansible dash playbook, no space in between, like no Ansible and playbook.
And then,
All are okay.
okay, so that's good. Thank you, Vidu. So Ansible hyphen playbook to. So there are multiple commands, guys, ad hoc commands and standalone commands you should remember. So this is for Ansible executing a playbook. So playing around with an inventory and checking the server status and all, you'll see use only Ansible commands. Okay.
So one more doubt for Ansible, I just like getting confused. For both master and node, we need to install in the both machine Ansible, or only we can install in master and not in node. I'm just
that is what we had discussed in the beginning of the class, right? Can anybody answer his question?
I just like just recalling, so I just forgot.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's okay. Can anybody answer his question, please?
Only one machine, Ranjit. If you install Ansible in one machine, it will act as a master. So no need to install other things, other machine.
Yeah, so that's good, Jitu. Thank you. Yeah, Bidu. So we have to just wherever you install Ansible in which machine, that machine will be marked as a master machine and control machine. Okay, that's enough. So we don't have to install anything else. Ansible isn't, because I just need to understand what is Ansible first thing. Ansible is an agentless, right, tool. So we don't need any agent also to be installed on the node machine. Then how will connect to the node machine? So this is a question, guys. How
through
will connect to the node machine?
through SSS key.
Through SSH. By sharing the SSH, the master will connect to the child machine or the node machine, right? Or the node server. The master server
Yeah.
will connect to the node server by using SSH keys. Okay, so because it is an agentless and it uses the full mechanism. Okay, so what we are going to do that one. So now what we installed, so just install two softwares here in the Ansible. So this software is installed, and here you can see, can anybody tell me what happened by seeing the result of this? And one more thing, I said one wrong answer here before. I said Ansible uses pull mechanism. Is it correct? Nobody told me. Nobody.
Push mechanism, right?
Yes. So nobody actually. Everyone listening me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Ansible uses these are the questions, guys. These are the questions. If you're going for Ansible interviews, they'll ask these basic questions. Okay, the basic questions
No,
they'll ask.
no, Ranjit, you already told Ansible work push mechanism.
Yes. So these are the basic questions. So you just remember, and I already have told yes, so that I was checking whether you remember still or not. Okay. So whenever I'm just telling you anything, just listen carefully. Okay. These are things maybe it will be useful for you. Okay. And here, can anybody tell me what happened here by seeing the logs?
I think it's saying okay 2 times and nothing changed in the code and configuration.
Okay, because it is already
They
installed.
exist.
Okay, already
Yeah.
exists. Okay, so now let's do the little changes here. Instead of present, I'll just make it absent. Okay, so first uninstall these two and then install it. Okay, so what happens? Change to one only. Why only one? The other one did not work. Okay, guys, here one deprecation warning there. Okay, so what it says, invoking yum only once while using loop via squash action, it's deprecated. That means with item, instead of using a loop to supply multiple items and specifying name item, please use name httpd git and remove the loop. Okay, that means the every versions of Linux, Ansible, whenever they're just modifying it, they're just deprecating some old things and adding new mechanisms. What they are saying now, they have deprecated with item. That's why our with item things did not work. You can see here only one changed. That means it changed only httpd git, it did not do. Instead of using this item ginger template, they are saying just use name httpd. What we can do here, simple things, we need to change it here. Go inside and remove this with items things and go name. Okay, what it says? Okay, httpd, and this is what they're trying to do. See, instead you can just use git like this and then execute it. So let's see whether it is working or not. Yes, it is working. And warning, platform Linux and of course app server is using the disk.python. That's fine. This is fine. Now what we can see, it changed 0. Let's do one thing here. Now modify this using the state. The state should be present now. We just uninstalled everything. Let's see using the present. Just execute the playbook. So what it says, syntax error. After failed changed false message failure talking to young near installers observed. Something. Let's. This is not supporting or what? Okay. Anything actually extra spaces or anything, it is breaking. This is not supporting here. Okay, we can use our Ginger template item. Okay, so what happened here? We just did changed one. Okay, it is not doing changed app server git. Let's see both git and all there installed or not. Let's connect to the server. Yeah, git is installed and Apache server, right? So we can see systemctl status. Okay, so it is also installed, what it is inactive. Okay, that's fine. So both are all are installed by using this with items. Okay, now if I go the user documents and user guide, you'll see the looping mechanism. That's what I will show you. The with items is now deprecated. Instead, what we are going to use, will use various other looping mechanism. Okay, so here working with playbooks and templating, Jinja 2 templating. Okay, so what is Jinja 2 templating? Let's discuss more on this. What is this Jinja templating? For this, follow this documentation, you'll find out lots of. Okay, so Ansible uses the Jinja 2 templating to enable dynamic expression to access to variables and facts. So the facts is nothing but the Ansible facts of the servers, to gathering the facts. So Ansible, how it works, when Ansible you execute a playbook, Ansible connects to the server, first gather the facts, gather the informations about the server. So whenever you are going to execute some particular task, by checking the facts, whatever is gathered, then it takes action. Suppose you are going to install Git on a machine. First, what it will do, it will get the information, it will gather the information, facts, and check. From the facts, it will check whether the Git is available or not. If it is available, it will skip it. If it is not available, then it will install the Git server. Okay, now what it says, you can use templating with the template module. For example, you can create a template for a configurations file and all, right? So this is, you can see how we can use the templating engine, the Jinja. Here, lookups here. So this vault and all that we'll just see in our classes, also upcoming classes, all this vault and all these things. So don't worry about that. And see here, the if you want to get any current timings and all, you can just use now and all, right? Okay, so we'll see all these Jinja template when we just execute whatever we are just using in our playbooks. Okay, so if you see here, combining and selecting data, how you can do that, just go through this and you'll find, see, lookup env my user default. So this is how you can see. First thing is, you should understand the requirement what you want, and just follow this documentations, and you'll get all these examples. So here what happens here, this torch pulse with an optional mode, what happens here, you're just using some modules, and this built-in file destination is the item path. Here they are using the loop. Okay, instead of with items, they are using the loop. What I'm going to do now, let's go ahead and work with the loop first. What is the looping? Here you can say here loop. What happens here, comparing with loop and with items, already anyway the with items is going to be deprecated, so we are going forward, we are going to use only loop. Okay, now let's see comparing with the loop and with items. And here you can see here, with items, whatever I just we just did it, right? With underscore items, just did it. And here the loop, in with items, what we are using, like this. And in loop also, you can use like list, or you can use like in one pattern. Okay, so see, same thing, the item also you have to use the Jinja template. Let me just do the example here, so that will be helpful. What we can do, just open here, just remove with items with loop, with loop, that's all, right? Instead of, we'll just using the loop. And here we'll give one space. Got it? Now with items, as it is going to deprecated, we are going to use loop. Okay, so save it, try to execute the program now. See, the earlier log, if you see with items, what it was giving, app server git. When if you use loop, it is giving one after another by checking item, httpd, and git. Okay, now just quickly do some changes. Okay, so what happened? Changed this and changed git. So let's see whether both git and all are there or not. Just let me logged into the remote server. So git is still there. HTTP systemctl status. So it is not there. HTTPD is not there. But why it is not? This one. They only changed one. That means another one it did not work. Though it is giving uninstalled, changed, but it is not doing that one. So let's modify the little bit the server information. Here what we can do, we can just write HTTPD. Let's see what is what. See how different ways they are using the loops. This is the complex looping. See what we have done so far, we just used this very simple ways. What is that? Repeated task can be written as standard loops over a simple list of strings. This is the standard loops what we used. This is the list we made. What, see, under loop, what is that? These are the lists. Okay, and we can call this list as loop items, right? And here I think we are missing something in the code. So it is change 0 is not able to uninstall the git. So it is not able to uninstall the git. Okay, fine. So let's, okay. So how to troubleshoot this error, guys? Because we can see here it is not able to uninstall, right? So we can just run this in the verbose mode, hyphen v and hyphen double v. See why it is not able to do that. Git is not installed. See, git is not installed. Result git is not installed. Git is already there, right? Git. Yeah, it is already there. It's just behaving differently. Okay, so what it says, git is not installed. Let's do that by changing it present. We'll see what is happening. It says installing git. Okay, Let's check the logs here. So what it says, installing Git and install size this one, downloading package, running, installing Git, installing, installed, and also Git also installed. Okay, both the things are installed, but the result, the output, whatever is giving is totally different. Okay, so let's see system feature status HTTP. Yeah, HTTPD also installed. So if you see the logs, right, everything are getting installed, both Git as well as HTTPD. So changing, giving one only. That's fine. So now you know how to use the loop. Okay, how to make the things iteratively work all the items, right? So any items, any number of tasks you want to execute, instead of doing multiple tasks, instead of adding multiple tasks in the playbook, you can simply add into the loop and then execute it. Okay, so that was the looping mechanism. Now in the looping mechanism, you can see here there are the multiple ways of looping. So what it says, iterating over a list of hashes. Okay, so this hash, dictionary, list, all are the terms of Python actually. As I from beginning I told, right, Ansible is totally developed in and built in Python only. So it uses all the Python functionality. Most of the Python, it uses the Python functionality. So if you're using hashes, if you have a list of hashes, you can reference subkeys in a loop. So you can use like this. Suppose, see, it is very simple here. You have it, they have written one hash, but it is list of hash. Okay, hash is actually is a like operator, like it's not operator, it's type of variables. Okay, where you can just add the variables in the key value pair. Okay, key value pair. Okay, so here if you see the key value pair, the name as the key and the value as test user 1. Okay, and here the group as will. So if you have given like this, how you will call the hash of list in the looping and the items. So here suppose you need the name, what it says, item dot name. So item will be by default, it will be there, dot name, whatever the key you have given it here, item dot name and get. So let's just copy this and check. Okay, now what happened here, Ansible dot built-in user, you should use this module, otherwise it will not work. Built-in user, and the name state is present, groups, what are the groups you are going to add it. Okay, now so we just added like the name, add several users and all, but before that, what mistake actually we have done it here, what else we need to add it here. So this is the playbook I'm going to write. I simply copied this from the documentation and just put it in the playbook, but what else I need to write in the playbook to execute, to work. Will this playbook work if I simply write this much? No, guys. So we have to write the, okay, let's see whether it is working or not. Ansible playbook. So error is not a valid for a play. Okay. Anyway, there's lots of errors. We'll get it. So how we'll make it run? Okay. So what I saw, told you. So we have to add these first basic things, right? See, we have just given a task. This is a simple task only. This is a simple task, but we have not given anything else on which server and what type of task it is. We have not given anything else. Okay, so let me just write it down in a notepad so it will be easy for intendant to make it. Okay, so I just wrote it here, and for that what I have to write, I have to write hosts, okay, and then tasks, right? First three dashes, hosts, okay, web servers, okay. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the tasks, two spaces, tasks, okay. Here with tasks, simple, whatever it is we have given it here, and then we have to make sure, see, because this is very important to understand what we are giving it here. How many spaces? One, two, three. One, two, three. If one space less or more, it will throw error. Okay. Okay. Let me copy this. So if you are not good writing in the VI editor, sometimes you'll find difficulties of having given more space or tabs. So better use, always you should use a node editor, right? Any kind of note, any kind of editor you can use to write the playbook. Okay, so this is simple playbooks, guys. I'm just writing 5 or 10 lines of code, but in actual playbooks you'll be finding 100 lines of code, the 500 lines of code, right? There are multiple lines of codes will be written. So those I'll show you when I'll do a project. There will be multiple lines of codes. I'll show you how we can execute this with different conditions, loops, right? Fact gathering and everything. I'll show you. Okay, so here, look, got it. So now what it will give us, it will give the result of the name, items, and the presence. Okay, so now let's just execute this one. Okay, so what it did, see, let me give another V to get the result. Okay, so here what happens, we have given the Ansible loop variables, okay, items. What happens here, okay, two times, right? I've given app server, so name as test user, group as will, name as test user and group as will. So Ansible loop variables, it just check here, given as group, name as 1000100 will, right? So what is this 1001? We have not given any 1001 and 1002, right? So if I see here the code, right? Let's do the code. See here. So will and root. So what it gives actually, the user informations, add several users to the group. So test user to be added in the will group and test user 2 will be added in the root group. Okay, so now let me check the groups on the server. So this is the server, check the groups. Okay, so here we have one group called will, right? Groups will. So let's check, sorry, it's a, it will be /etc groups, no such file. Okay, see the test user 1 and test user 2 is added in the groups. If you see here on the node machine, the test user 1 and test user 2 is added. Okay, so you'll be seeing the root, right? And here you're giving 1001. 1001 is nothing but the group ID of the wheel, and 1002 is the group ID of the root. Okay, here you can see EC2 user 1001. So whatever we had written here, all this is added to the host machine. So this is a very powerful syntax, and this is a very powerful module, Ansible built-in module. So if you want to see the built-in modules, right? So just copy any built-in modules, just search for here, and go to the documentations anyway, and just go to the modules first. Go to the Ansible built-in modules. Okay, as I told, you have to always follow this documentation, Ansible built-in modules. This is documentations, Ansible built-in modules. You'll find all the plugins run as such as, right, callback plugins and inventory plugins and all, right? So what module we used? Now we used this Ansible built-in hyphen dot user module, right? So check the user module where the user is. User, see, manage user accounts. Okay, so if you click this, so what are these options available here? Authorization, comment, force, group. So groups, we have added one groups here. So groups, and it should be name and state. Well, obviously the name will be there. Okay, and group and the state, where is name will be there, name is required. Okay, so whatever thing is required, you should give it, it is mandatory, otherwise it will fail. Okay, and name is to create, remove and modify. So what we gave right here as a name, to create, like we gave this one as to create, and state is present, to add. Present means to add or install, right? So let's check what is the state it is given it here. So these are the variables. Where is the state? Yeah, state. So we have two states, either present or absent. So present, if you are give it, so it will add the user into the groups. If you remove, if you use absent, then it will remove it. Okay, and there are other things are also there. So definitely there should be something, examples are there how you can use this example. See, Ansible built-in hyphen. So how you will use, the thing is how you will use the built-in modules, the built-in modules by using the Ansible dot built-in dot user. These are the, this is the way you can use it. See, okay, there are lots of things available here. Just go home and just try to practice this one. Okay, just try to practice all this and see whether, and how you'll check whether it is added or not. You can just log into the server, they can check it, or by using, by gathering the facts. I'll show you in our examples how you can gather the facts and check it. Okay, now this is how we find it out. Okay, now if you want to see any other plugins or modules, okay, anything, you will find it over here only. Include task, include roles, host name, I already have checked, right? Yum modules, all this we have checked it. For Git also, like depot software, for Git also we can see it, how we can use and play around with the Git. Simply for Git also they are having some different usage. See, they're using Ansible built-in Git. So when you will use this Git, guys, when if you are going to work on the Git repositories, right? When you are going to work on the Git repositories and we are going to try to check out something from the GitHub or Git, see here for checkout what happens here. Git just given, this is the repository, right? Repo and destination and then version. Which version, like which branch you want to check out. You can simply use it. So let's do that checkout. If you want to check out anything, right, you can use that one. Now, so guys, you can understand all this, right? I'll just simply give one example of Git built-in. Okay, simply Git, one example of Git built-in. Let's do that. Vi Git module demo. Okay, so how to write this playbook? 3 dashes. Okay, then hyphen hosts. This is the common things, and you can just write which where you want to check out web servers. Okay, then you have to write the tasks, right? Tasks. In the task you have to give the details here. Okay, so there is something wrong, I need to fix it out. Tasks and so, okay, now let me modify this. So what I'm going to do, I have to log into my GitHub repositories. GitHub repositories. Oops. Hmm. Okay guys, I'm stopping my screen 1 second. I forgot the GitHub account password. This is my password. Okay, I changed to recent one. Okay, so I got the password. However, it has sent me a authentication to open two-way factor authenticator. Okay, so I had authenticated, I think used Google Authenticator. Yes. So GitHub 6. Okay. So, so multi-factor authentication, the security I have added already in my account. That's good. Actually, nobody can hack my account. Okay. Now, what we can do here, I'm just simply going to get a clone of this one repository. I just want to check out this to one of the server, right? How we can use just so guys, there are hundreds of modules. I'm just giving one or two examples, and similarly, you have to use it by however I'm using how I'm using. You have to use the modules like that way, okay? And you have to follow the documentation. I cannot go through all the hundreds or 200 modules. Okay, I'm just showing you one or two. I just covered user module, and now I'm using the Git module to show you how it is working. Similarly, you can do practice, and when you will use this thing when based on your requirement, okay, what you need, then follow this documentations, get that particular module, follow how it is they have used it, examples, and do that. Okay, now let me just copy this one. Let me just go here and modify this. Okay, So here I'm going to give one folder. Let's say suppose I'll give as home situ hyphen. So this is the folder where destination and the version. Okay, so let's check the version. Which version I have? I have three branches. Okay, and I just want to get it. Suppose dev slash 1.1 version. Okay, so dev slash 1.1 version. I'll just go here. Dev dev slash one. Okay, just I added here. Now what happened here? I'm going to check out this to my this destination. In the version I'm going to use dev underscore dev slash 1.1. Okay, so I'm going to use this built-in to do the checkout. Okay, now let's save it and execute the playbook. Okay, Ansible. What happened? There is something we need to check out. Okay, so here is the problem actually. I have to give spaces over here, two spaces at least, one spaces. So this is how I know, because if you just check this one, how they have written. So after this module, right, built-in module, they have given one or two spaces over here. Okay. Suppose if I have given one spaces, that is fine. If you give two spaces, let's continue with two spaces. If you give three spaces, then continue with the three spaces. Okay. Now let's save it and execute the module. Yeah, it's working now. Okay, this says fatal. Why? Because the origin I can use already exist. Fine. Let's just little modify this. I can use this as git demo something. Okay. Let's execute. Failed to check out dev 1.1. Did not match any files. Why it is not able to check out even force dev 1.1? Okay, let's modify something. Maybe there is some slashes problem. Let's modify to master directly. Let's see, master. Okay, so you can see here because why it did not work, maybe of this slash, right? Maybe of this dev slash, it is causing some, it is breaking something. Okay, the wildcard is breaking and it's not able to find out this version. So if I give master, you can see here it is already checked out the master. Okay, now let me go to the server. Okay, so if I go to the server, what happened? It is stuck. It's not working. Okay. Now let's go to that grass. Okay. SSH. Now, okay. So what we can do here, just give cd home and ec2 user. Okay. So if you check it here, see the git demo is checked out. Now if I go inside this git demo, see all these things have been checked out. So guys, you know how you can use the various modules in the Ansible. You can do lots of things, guys, using Ansible, whatever you want to. So you'll be thinking why we need this git to check out. Okay, there will be something, right? When you are deploying some program or something, and you want to do some ad hoc things, okay, and you'll be writing right multiple programs to be checked out and multiple things to be checked out. So you can use Ansible to do the configuration management for the various things. Okay, now this way you can do. Now so you are good about this modules, right? So not only these modules, you'll find lots of cloud modules also. Okay, for the cloud, suppose for AWS, right? Suppose you are working for AWS, you can find AWS modules and all, right? And for Google modules, right? And for Azure and everything, all these details you can find it out, all these module informations. I have one things for AWS module, I think. Ansible AWS module. Okay. If you're going to work on the AWS, right? Then you can just use their AWS modules. See, there are lots of modules available here, all these clouds for AWS. Okay. Similarly, for community, if you are going to check something for Google Cloud, GCP, or for any like Azure, you can just go to the community center and you'll find it here. See, community AWS, community Azure. Okay, Grafana, Google, lots of MySQL, Windows, lots of things, VMware. Okay, all these built-in modules. So that's why, guys, Ansible is very huge. Okay, you cannot be learn in 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. It will take months of time, even years, to get it mastered. Okay, if you want to work in the Docker, go to this community Docker. Let me just oops. Okay, let me just ping you these things and keep it handy. It will be very useful for your, your future reference. Okay, keep it handy. And just try to do practice and try to play around it. Okay, try to play around it and you'll come to know. And if you want to see about Docker something, right? Docker we have not yet completed. So once we complete Docker, we can find it out. So you can use how we can use different Dockers and all, right? To get the Docker container facts, you can find it out here. See, and how you can use all these informations, examples. So every built-in modules you'll find with examples. Okay, so this is all about the modules, and I told you how you can use the built-in modules in Ansible. So now whatever Jitu was asking in the beginning to see how to install in multiple one playbook with the multiple softwares, how we can get it that. Let's start with some basics first today, and then tomorrow we'll see more details. Okay, now I have a program here. If you see, to check the status of something, right? What happens here? There will be questions, guys, in interview. They'll ask you, how to find it out in Ansible, how we can check whether the particular software is installed or not. Suppose what happened, if you are going to install, there is a requirement to install a particular software in multiple servers, like 100 servers, like 100 node machines, 100 node servers. And if you want to check whether these are things installed properly or not, how we can do that? By using the package facts, the module called package facts, and you'll get the status of the things. Okay, now let's just copy these programs, and I'll just explain.
Or is it possible, like, let's say we are connecting to a particular node,
Mhm,
and we are using, let's say I have Ubuntu,
mhm.
Ubuntu version, particular version, right?
Yes.
So we can use the same command over there.
Yes, that see, these are the common modules for all operating systems. Okay, only suppose you know the package manager. Whatever the package manager for Ubuntu, the package manager for installing is, what is that, guys?
LS,
No, apt, right?
I think we can use
apt.
yeah,
See, apt manage, apt package manager. So if you are, see, in my
yeah.
program here I used yum. Yum is a package manager of Red Hat, CentOS, and even Amazon Linux also. But apt and apt-get is a package manager for Ubuntu. Okay, if you go and click it,
Yeah.
you'll find this same details, same things, but instead of yum, you are going to use apt. See, the module is apt. Okay, the first thing actually you need to understand what package, what flavor of Unix or Linux or Windows you are going to use, and based on that you have to use that package money modules. But the rest of other modules will be the same. Okay, rest of the other modules will be same.
Yeah.
Now what we are going to I was showing you, yeah. So the facts, what I have written it here, let's go something here, and name package status. It's a problem. Okay, so let's see whether it is working or we are getting any syntax error. Package package Ansible playbook. What was that? Package. Oh, it's working. Okay. Hmm. So what the result we are going to here? Let me explain all this. Okay. So here, what happens here? The packages here. See, I'm going to check get the RPM package facts using the package package manager auto and the status of the package. Here, how you use this package facts? Let's go and check the modules. Okay. Here, search for package underscore facts, and this is Ansible built-in. Okay. and you can find it the information here. See, Ansible built-in Ansible.built-in package facts you can use directly, or you can use only package underscore fact also. Okay, like whatever I have used here, package underscore fact and then debug. So if you see here how the debugging is happening, okay, here the packages whatever we have given the default, we have not given anything. Okay, here the packages, let's check for this one. What I'm going to do here, let's change this little bit. Okay, I'll change the code. Instead of these loops, let's check set enter. Okay, I'll check httpd icon git. I'll check for suppose tomcat 3 I gave, right? So let's save it. Okay, now execute, but I'll give some to display the output on the server, right? So hyphen double v. Okay, so what happens here, you can see even though if you don't give to check out that it is displaying the result on the screen itself. Let's remove this hyphen v options, let's check it. Okay, it's very easy guys. See what you can see, the servers like app server httpd is installed, git is installed, tomcat not installed. So this is how, by using the package facts, remember these are the modules which you are frequently going to work, and they will ask questions, what are the modules you frequently work. So this is Ansible. You can either use Ansible dot built-in dot package underscore facts, or you can simply use package underscore facts, okay, to get the module. So there are some other details like the other modules, whatever Jitu was telling, right? To check the server, based on the server, install the packages. Okay, so how you will do that? Let me just tell you something. Then in our next classes, we'll just go through that. Okay, and here you'll find this module called host name. Okay, let me check wh. Host name. Okay, so host name and host, you can find it out here by checking this one. So see, use all this Debian, all these methods, all these hosts. Okay, all these flavors are there. Ansible did host name, you'll get find this host name and all, right? All this use system dd. And the thing is, there are many other ways to find it out, to find what versions. Okay, okay guys, when we'll cover the conditions, right? Whenever we cover the conditions, that time I'll show you how we can use these conditions. Okay, how you'll check the server information and execute some particular commands. Okay, we'll add two more. Suppose we have one Amazon Linux, I will create another machine called Ubuntu, and then we can do the check. Okay, okay guys, so that's all for today, and next classes will cover multiple other things. So far we just saw about how to install and uninstall and gather facts and using the loops and all. So next classes we'll see on some other things like it is, as I told, this is not only for installing and all, it is for configuration management, right? So configuration management is nothing but to copy the files to one server to another, and copy the required libraries, binaries before the product deployment. So those things how we can using the copy modules and all, right? So if you see here, there will be some modules called copy module. Okay, one second. If you see here, copy. So copy files to a remote location, and there is command. So all these modules, what are the very important modules, guys? File, find, gather facts, already get URL, right? And command. All these actually tomorrow classes, all these modules, right? Now we are going to work on the modules. All these modules I'll cover tomorrow. Okay, so all, not exactly all the modules, but most of the modules I'll try to cover tomorrow. We'll do a one project on everything about that. Okay. Guys, copy. And guys, can you hear
And
me?
Ranjit, one more thing, handler also can.
Yeah, that also will be covered. Handler also will be covered. Handler, register, all these things will be covered. So I have just made all these things, whatever I'm going to cover here. Okay. Um, Package facts, copy, notify, handler, all these things will be covered, guys. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, services, handler, wait for, register, everything I'm going to cover, notify, everything I'm going to cover. Okay, I have already noted, and based on this, actually, I'm going to one after one. I'll just go through that. Okay, so guys, this is now for you. The task is for you now. Just go home and to practice. Try to do yourself more things, just explore around the modules. Here again, copy modules, right? If you check this copy modules, how to, thing is how to copy a file from one location to another location using Ansible. When you are deploying a software, deploying a product, right, deploying an application, that time you may need to deploy and copy one artifact from one server to another location, right? That time you have to use this copy and file. There are lots of things are there. I'll just see how to use copy, built-in copy. Either you can use Ansible built-in copy, or you can just simply write copy, not a problem. You can use better to use Ansible built-in copy. Source, from where you want to copy, and then destination, where you want to put it. So all these examples tomorrow we'll do it, and what are the things are there. Okay, and so this is the copy, and similar things, there is a file also. And this is very important, guys. They'll ask questions difference between this copy and file also. So what happens here? The file, similar, same things, path. If you are going to change something, right? Ownership of a file, changing a file, and copying to a same thing, Ansible, like a link, like hard link, soft link. If you're linking something, use this file to link it. Okay. See, lots of things are there. Okay. Okay, guys, so that's all for today. Maybe in our next classes, we'll see all these modules examples one after another, and then other things, whatever the modules. Now, you know how to write the playbooks, how to execute the playbooks. Now we are just going to next is to work on the modules, and then we'll just little advanced on the variable side. We'll work on the variable side, and then we'll work on the vault mechanism, right? Vault mechanism is very, very important to understand how to safeguard and provide security to your passwords and very confidential informations, whatever, whenever you're using, how you can, by using vault mechanism, how you can save it. So all these things we'll cover maybe tomorrow or next classes. Okay, we'll try to finish it by tomorrow. If not, then we'll continue to the next classes. Okay.